Holiday gets a screen from Williams. Spins the free throw line, stops, fades, puts it in. And it's an 11-point Trailblazers lead, matching their largest of the game. There's a pass, inbound, stolen by Kamara, out to Holiday, three-pointer, buries it. 7 in a row by Drew Holiday. Timeout, Pelicans. 92-78 Trailblazers. They lead it by 14. Avdi up top, the Blazers in front by 13, drives, lobs it to Kling into the right-hand smash. 9 points for DC, he's 1 point away from a double-double. 108-93. Bounce pass to Kamara on the baseline. Slips through, looks for cutting Sharp to the rim. Yes! 31 for Shaedon Sharp. 8th career game of 30 or more, and the second straight with 31. 116-110. Holiday walks it up. Backs it up, 15 to shoot, top of the key. Bounce pass to Sharp. Hesitates into the lane, pulls up 14 feet, got it. Sharp's got 33, a new season high on 12 of 17 shooting. He is 10 of 10 from 2. Here's up top, 2:08 to play. Backs it up in front of Denny. Back and forth, thought about the three. Now his pass is deflected and stolen. Sharp in the open court with the drive and the smash. A big turnover. Blazers lead it by 8:35 for Shaedon Sharp. Holiday straight up, has it in front of Fears. Backs up to the midcourt circle. 1:05 to play, 7 to shoot. Looks for Denny. Three-pointer on the way from Denny. Buries it! Denny's got 32 on his first made three since the first quarter. He hits that one to extend the Blazers lead to 9, and that should ice it.
And it pretty much did ice it as the Trailblazers get the job done after what could be described as a slow start to the game and grab the victory over the New Orleans Pelicans, 125-117. Welcome into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. If you'd like to join the conversation with us, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And of course, you can head on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the conversation there as well. We're already, people are talking about loving this Blazers win, another good game, and it was. And the thing is, we talked about it in the pregame show that, these games that they lost, like the good part, even for the ups and downs within the game, is they've been competitive in these games. They've been within striking distance. Like I was talking to a fan during the game. He's like, it's kind of annoying that Young Hansen hasn't played. Like, you could troll him for 5 minutes out there. And it's like, well, the thing is, they've been in these in winnable games. And so throwing the guy out there for developmental minutes doesn't make sense when they're trying to win ball games. The team's playing well. They just have some ups and downs. And today, I think the good part was they had the down early in the game and then had plenty of time to rebound from that. Because the first half, there was, it was questionable, to say the least. They did put up 30 points, outscored the Pelicans 30-25. But as I noted, I thought the final possession of that quarter was absolutely terrible, as they just passed the ball around the horn and as time expires, settle for a Robert Williams three from the corner. I don't think there's any offensive possession that should be ending in a Robert Williams three. Now, that's unfortunate. And again, he didn't even get the ball off in time because he didn't get a three-pointer on the schedule or on the box score. So that makes it even worse. And then in the second quarter, the Pelicans, they put it together. They outscored the Blazers 34-27. And you're sitting here kind of scratching your head, right? You're like, why? What's going on here? How are the Blazers losing this game? How are the Pelicans staying in this? This is a Pelicans team that comes in with the second worst offense in the entire league, and they're scoring. Derek Queen is which, by the way, I think a lot of Blazer fans liked him in the draft. He's coming off the bench, and he's just absolutely obliterating you. Sadiq Bey is going off. Even with all the injuries, the Pelicans are finding ways to score. The Blazers had to weather that storm, and they absolutely did. In the second half, came out in the third quarter, put the clamps down, outscored the Pelicans 38-26, and did their best to hold on to that lead. And as you heard some of the highlights there, I mean, it may have took a late three from Denny to finally hammer home that last nail in the coffin, but they did it. They didn't squander the opportunity, and I think that's a victory in and of itself for your Trailblazers. Taking a look at the box score, the biggest lead of the night for Portland was 15. The biggest lead of the night for New Orleans was 6. There was 11 lead changes They were tied 11 times. Portland won the battle in the paint 64-56. Second chance points in favor of New Orleans 24-12 early on in the game. A lot of second chance points, and they were able to, again, Blazers were able to weather that storm. They were able to take those punches and bounce back, which is exactly what you want to see them do. Fast break points, they outpaced the Pelicans 17-6. Bench points in a rare occurrence here. The Blazers were outscored by the Pelicans bench 44-19. That, though, was in large part to Jeremy Grant getting ejected in this game. He played just 7 minutes before he was sent to the showers. And at that point, it was 39-39. I was trying to see if that, galvanized the team and got them going. Still took some time, but they got the win. At the end of the first half, Shaedon Sharpe, you could tell he was absolutely on a tear. He had 20 points at halftime, 7 of 10 from the floor, 2 of 5 from deep. Denny had 15 points as well. Taking a look at the full box score, starting with the Pelicans, Trey Murphy had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 of 18 from the floor. 25 points from Sadiq Bey. Kevon Looney had 0 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. 11 points from Herb Jones. Jeremiah Fears had 15. And off of the Pelicans bench, Derek Queen had 26 points. He was 12 of 18 from the floor. Very productive day for him. On the Trailblazers side of things, Toumani Camara, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block shot. And we've talked a lot about Toumani, what he brings offensively. Like, he's not going to burn the doors off. He's going to have nights where he does score in the 20s, maybe puts up a 30 burger, but you just need him to be consistent. And there's been a couple games here where he's scored 3, he scored 8, and the shooting hasn't been there. This is the type of night that you can stomach and accept from Toumani Camara. In fact, this is the type of night I think you want from him consistently. 13 points is what he got tonight. If he's giving you that 13 to 16, 17 points a night, doing it like he did tonight on 50% shooting, 50% from 3-point range and 2-point range, like that's the type of game you want from him. So I thought this was a good bounce back game of sorts for Toumani Camara. Donovan Clingan, a much better game. 9 points, 10 rebounds, 3 block shots. You looked at the game against Orlando. The block shots went there. The defense was a little meh. The offense was absolutely questionable. You would still, you'd like to get up above or into double digits, but you'll take 9 and 10 on a night like tonight, especially when you need those rebounding numbers from him. You absolutely do. And so I take that. Boom. I like that W. Drew Holiday, a night after having the turnover that doomed the Blazers late in the game, he had 17 points. He also had 12 assists in this one to go with 4 rebounds, and he had just 3 turnovers. I haven't mentioned 2 guys, though, who absolutely blew the doors off. Deni Avdija, he has been the best Blazer early in this season, and he proved that again tonight. 12 of 18 from the floor, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. He had just 1 rebound and 2 assists, but he had 32 points. Incredible performance from him. And for the second night in a row, Shaedon Sharpe went off for a 30-piece as well. He had 35 points to lead all scorers. He also had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And the best part about Shaedon Sharpe's night, efficient. 13 of 18 from the floor, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Now you look at 2 of 5, and that's not great. But when you look at 13 of 18 and realize, oh, so you're telling me the only shots he missed were those 3s, everything else he was hitting, including being 7 of 7 from the free throw line. That's the type of game that you like. Now, the Blazers, as we know, still do need to find ways to get to the free throw line more and not lose those free throw battles. But they did not miss a lot of those opportunities this time around when they got there. They got to the free throw line 17 times. They only missed one of them. The only miss on the night coming from Deni Avdija. So those are the things that you're like, okay, I like what we're doing here. We're getting a little more comfortable. And again, we talked about against the Magic, they lost that free throw battle by 10 points. They gave up 10 extra points than they got at the free throw line. Tonight, that number was just 2. 18-16. Not terrible. You still lost it, but you'll take it because guess what? You got the victory. The assist numbers, 26-28 in favor of the Pelicans, which is a little odd since they only averaged 22 per night. Rebound battle, there wasn't a lot of rebounds to go around. Blazers won that to 35. So all the way around, though, this is the type of game you needed. Brenden did walk in at one point and just laughed because he's like, oh, man, another game that's just boring. And it was. It really was.
Just didn't have that zip and that pop. And honestly, Chris, just from my perspective, I think the ejection of Misi and Grant kind of got things going a little bit. And obviously Shaden was cooking in that first half. I don't want to discount that. But it was like 30-30 something with like 6 minutes to go in the second. Just not quite as much offense and taking off and running away with this as we maybe thought going in.
No, there wasn't, but I thought the second half definitely was a lot better in that aspect with them getting it going offensively. And in the long run, too, even if you didn't take off and get out to the big lead like we kind of expected you would, I still think you look at that situation and go, okay, 30 piece from Denny, 30 plus from Shaden Sharp, which is exactly what fans have wanted for a while now. Give me those offensive nights. We want to see that consistently. We want to see that consistently, and he gave it to you tonight. And that's exactly what you want if you're a Trailblazer fan. So now you don't have to worry. You didn't fall to 0-3 on this road trip. You picked up a big win against the Pelicans, and hopefully use that as a little bit of momentum because now you go to Houston in a game that it would normally just be a regular season game. But no, this one matters. It's a cup game. It's a cup game, and guess what? You won your first cup game, so this matters a little bit more now when it comes to winning that special, awesome in-season tournament. That as much crap as we gave that thing when it started, it's starting to get to the point where people are picking on it less and kind of enjoying it more, which is really weird. It works. It's something to root for, as dumb as it is, but it works.
Yeah, I got really excited for the Cup, before the season started, Chris, when ESPN predicted, hey, Portland would come out of left field and be in the Cup championship. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And one, simulation or what have you. And just looking at the standings now, only the Blazers and Spurs are undefeated in Cup play. Nuggets are 1-1. Warriors and Rockets are 0-1 each. So I know going into this season when we saw that Cup grouping for Portland, you're like, oh boy. But, you still got to play all the games. And if the Blazers can manage to somehow get by a very good Houston team, that make things pretty interesting, Burkhardt.
Yes, it will be very, very interesting. But again, that's the next game. That one we can talk about that one with game day with you on Friday. But overall, this was the type of performance that the Blazers needed. They needed that rebound. They needed that victory. And again, you look at their losses that they've had on this trip. It's not as if they've been playing absolutely terrible basketball. I think they played pretty good basketball for about 90% of those games. But that 10% of bad basketball was enough to catch up with them because they're just not good enough to weather those storms yet. Tonight, I think they were able to weather that 10% of the night that they weren't playing great basketball. Still a lot to learn from. Still need to, don't celebrate as much when you make a shot. Get back on defense, little things like that. But overall, again, a game that I think you can definitely get behind and go, okay, I like that. Because like I said, the first comments on the chat today, let's go Blazers, from my boy Keith Feltner-Smith. That's right. Now get everyone else to come raid the chat too, my friend. Get on in here. And then, one of these days you'll get back on mode and we'll get you back on the show again because we'll have some fun. You guys know my boy Keith of Trailcasters fame. I heard he may have even released an episode the other day. He didn't do it with me, though. He doesn't like to work around my schedule anymore. He got tired of that. To be fair, anyone having to work around my schedule is pretty... Hey, I feel bad for my friends and the people who want, hey, you want to record a podcast? Are you free Saturday? And, I always am like, no, I'm not. And they probably think that I'm, ditching them. But here's the thing. You understand this because you are also in the sports world, and I'm in the sports world with both feet. I'm dipping all 10 toes when it comes to all my high school coverage and the NBA with the Blazers. So it's I did the math, Brenden. Do you know that between now, actually November 5th was my birthday. People know, right?
Happy belated.
Thank you. That weekend prior was my birthday party. Had the family over. I didn't have anything on Sunday, no work. Didn't have any work on Saturday, no Blazer games, so nothing on the weekend. That was my last weekend where I didn't have a Blazer game or an OSAA state championship event until April. So when I tell you that, I'm sorry, I'm trying, but I'm not available. I'm not joking. I'm really not available.
Yeah.
My schedule's crazy.
I mean, Chris, for those who don't know, peel the curtain back, unless you are, on Sports Center. You're usually wearing a lot of hats in this business to keep things rolling. It means, means you're pretty busy, right? So
Many hats.
I can relate to with the glorious fun that has been this Oregon State football season and the just the ebbs and flows of that too. So yeah, I can totally understand where you're coming from, Burke. No doubt.
I will tell you, I will never forget words of wisdom from our friend Dwight, the Godfather James.
Yeah.
On the road in San Antonio for the playoffs back when I first started. That was 2014, where he was complaining about travel. He's like, I'm tired of this traveling. This season needs to blah, blah, blah. And he stopped himself mid-sentence. And he's like, you know what? I need to stop. I'm like, why? He goes, because I could walk into any bar in this city right now. We were in San Antonio. I could walk into any bar in this city right now, and 9 out of 10 people would want my job. And the crazy part is, getting paid to talk about sports is pretty sweet.
The Godfather's spitting bars, spitting truth right there, Chris. I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, now Keith chimes in. We tried for not one, but 2 new Trailcasters episodes. Bruh. Unfortunately, neither one aired outside of Discord, having some disagreements with our hosting sites. Oh, I see. Basically, what you're saying is without me, you're just in shambles, my man. That's what you're saying. That is what you're saying. In the meantime, listen to the 1977 podcast hosted by yours truly. New episode whenever I hit record and find the time to do it. One of my favorite YouTubers will always do that. His bit when he started his YouTube videos was new episodes every week. And he did a new episode every week. But then he started to get real busy and it took more and more time. And he started like, new episodes every weak spot in the drywall there at the house yesterday. Got to repair that. Then I'll get you a new episode. It's like something dumb like that. That's how I feel. I got to get on that. All right, enough of the podcast and the nonsense, though. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to hit you with our drive of the night, our shot of the night. We still got the coach's corner to get to. We'll hand out game balls, all that right here on the fifth quarter. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620. And, of course, you can head on over to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more coming up on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Here's up top, 2:08 to play. Backs it up in front of Denny. Back and forth, thought about the three. Now his pass is deflected and stolen. Sharp on the open court with the drive and the smash. A big turnover. Blazers lead it by 8:35 for Shaedon Sharp.
Welcome back in to the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you. And you know what? When Shea hit that beautiful dunk that was just played there by Brenden, I'm pretty sure this is what fans felt like inside the Smoothie King arena.
Got it. Are you kidding me?
That's right. That highlight can be used for good and evil. I like it. That was obviously the call when Desmond Bane hit that dumb three-pointer just a few nights ago. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And, of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well, where my boy Keith is holding it down. Thank you very much. He did laugh, though, and said that he has admitted that, he's in shambles without me. That's just, a lot of people in my life say that about me. Most of them are toddlers or children, but I keep the roof over their head, and they would be in shambles without me. Love you. I love you, my three little beautiful daughters. As for my wife, I love her, but I would be in shambles without her. So, everybody has that person they'd be in shambles without. Brenden is at that stage in his life where he'd be in shambles without his Xbox, though.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe more like 3-4 years ago. I think I'd be in shambles now just without my family support system, even though don't have kids and a wife of my own, Burkhardt. But yeah, I don't know where I'd be without.
I feel like it's a crime that I have not met the Slaughter family. I have never met your mom.
I know
your sisters and your brother that you talk about all the time.
I know, To be perfectly honest, we should have done it when when Brenden won that nice little Blazers box special last year, Chris, and basically everybody that I knew went to that Wizards game at Moda Center last year. But next time we're in the same place, we'll have to make it happen, man. I'll have to get some family members to come to a Blazer game.
When did your sister start her career in the aviation industry?
So Alyssa and I, it's very easy for us to remember. She got hired at Alaska the same month that I got hired here at iHeart, so May of 2019.
Okay, I was gonna say not a lot of time to cross paths. So I was like, it would have been funny if she was a flight attendant in one of my many flights that I took when I was traveling.
Yeah, no, I mean it's entirely possible that when that your paths may have crossed in the air at one point. But yeah, no, it's definitely like I said. I shout out to my sister, man. It's she's the best.
Just the two? It's a brother and a sister, or you got more?
So me, my sister, and then two younger brothers.
And your sister's the oldest?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest?
Yep.
Okay, see.
Yep. So you got the dean of Slaughter children over here, and got to be big brother, making sure everybody is on their P's and Q's.
There you go. You and I can bond over big,
yes, sir.
Big brother syndrome. So that's fun. That's fun. So anyway, Brenden I just pick on him. He's really very, very far from shambles. In fact, I'd probably be in shambles if it weren't for this guy picking me up multiple times with a stranded car on the side of I-5. So you know what? See, Brenden, everyone, we're all just one big happy family.
What's that old saying, Chris? He's a good guy to have in a tough spot. That's B-Slot right there.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a second, shall we, before we jump back in to this Trailblazers game. Take a look around the NBA, see how some of the scores went down tonight. A couple games actually still in action right now with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Oklahoma City Thunder are absolutely drubbing the Lakers 82-51. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 15 points, 6 boards for Luka Doncic. It's kind of fun right there. The Oklahoma City Thunder, though, currently sitting at 11-1 overall, and the Blazers are the 1-11-1. Of course, that might not make a ton of sense because there's 3 ones in there, but you know what I mean. At halftime, the Kings are trailing the Atlanta Hawks 66-46. And I'm going to say this right now. This is also kind of the worst kept secret around the league. So most of you know this, but pay attention to what is going down in Sacramento. This is a team that, 2 seasons ago was one of the top teams in the West.
Dude,
Look
light
at
the
this.
beam.
Yeah.
Light the beam,
Light the
Burkhardt.
beam.
They were a meme.
The playoff drought is over. Things are looking up, and the wheels have just absolutely fallen off. They're sitting there right now at 3-8. You're starting to see the rumors of possibly Domantas Sabonis being available, Zach LaVine, all those guys as they may go into rebuild mode. It is not looking good in Sacramento right now. I would definitely keep an eye on what they're doing. Down in Los Angeles, the Nuggets trail the Clippers 52-43 with 7 minutes left in the second. 25 points already for Nikola Jokic. And some final scores. Charlotte beats Milwaukee 111-100. The Pistons beat the Bulls 124-113. The Magic, maybe they're finding their magic. They take down the Knicks 124-107. Franz Wagner had 28 points and 9 boards. Jalen Brunson had 31 and 6. The Celtics dominate the Grizzlies 131-95. They were led by West Linton's finest, Peyton Pritchard, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. The Cavaliers grab a 130-116 victory over the Heat. Norman Powell chipped in 27, and Jared Allen, 30 points, 10 boards. The Rockets, the Trailblazers' next opponent, grab a win over Washington, 135-112. The Warriors beat the Spurs 125-120, despite the 31-15-10 from Victor Wembanyama. Steph Curry challenged that with 46. Kind of funny that the two best players were the tallest player on the floor and the shortest player on the floor. That's kind of funny. Is there like a record there for like the best player on each team, the difference between their height, like that? We might be approaching that. And the final in Dallas, the Mavericks continue their struggles, and they lose to the Suns 123-114. And then, of course, your Trailblazers 125-117. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. You can follow me on social at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the conversation there now, where Jason says, can we just ban Tiago from challenging fouls for the rest of his life? Hey, man, first off, coaches don't always shoot the best when it comes to those challenges. Am I right? I mean, they pick some crazy ones to challenge, but at the same time, sometimes I'm watching the game and I'm just like, okay, I know nothing, because I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely getting overturned. Then it doesn't. Or I'll be like, there's no chance that call's getting overturned. Then it does. All challenges do is prove that like nobody knows a thing about how NBA rules work, not even the coaches or players. The funniest yet most annoying thing about the challenge system is ever since it came to be, every single player, like anytime they hear the whistle, it's just automatic. Like they start spinning their finger, you know, the universal review the call. Like if the challenge system were around when Tim Duncan played, like his wrist may have broke. His finger may have fallen off because he complained about calls so often. I will never forget watching a game where San Antonio was playing and Tim Duncan, so used to just complaining about every call. Here's a whistle. Instantly turns to the ref and starts complaining until the ref is like, dude, it's all the calls against the other team. Like, you're good. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like when you're so used to challenging or getting mad at a call that you just, complain about anything, even when it's in your favor. Good old Timmy D. I love Tim Duncan, by the way. That's not even me being mad at him. I love Tim Duncan. He's like Nikola Jokic in the fact that their games were absolutely boring in the best way possible, because it's just fundamental basketball. Lull you to sleep and then beat you like an animal that poisons you, but you don't know it. It's like a slow poison coming. I didn't even know he bit me. Next thing you know, it's like slow paralysis, and then you're done. That was watching Tim Duncan and Nikola Jokic right there. Anyway, tonight the Blazers go into Smoothie King, and they grab a 125-117 victory in the best food town in the NBA. And it was a get right for the Blazers. We talk about a lot not being the get right game for the other team. I'm glad the Blazers got right this time. They needed that. They absolutely needed that feeling of victory real quick. We understand that the NBA is up and down, and you're going to have good stretches. You're going to have poor stretches. But especially those last two games, it's like those are winnable games. And it was just a couple mistakes in key moments led to those defeats. And so you get better from those and you find ways to win those type of games. And I thought tonight's game was another one where it's getting a little too close for comfort late and you got to make the right plays. And the Blazers made the right plays. So to me, that's a sign of learning. That's a sign of growing. Are they still going to make those mistakes and have those moments? Absolutely they are. This team is still young. Like, yes, we know they got Jeremy Grant and they got Drew Holiday and they got some vets. But a lot of the time, I mean, you look at the core that was out there tonight, Tumani, Denny, Shea, Chris, City, right? Those guys are all young guys. All young guys. So they're going to learn. They're going to get better. They're going to progress. And seeing those little progressions, I think, is a very, very good thing. So tonight, they did not fold. They got what they needed to do. And I do think that's 2 games in a row now that Shea has looked exactly how we want Shaden to look. And hopefully he can continue to grow on that. I know there's been a lot of talk about, his 3-point shooting. I did point out, and granted, it was in a time when, far fewer 3-pointers were taken. But Shaden Sharp is like a career 32.9, 32.5 from beyond the arc, which a lot of people are like, that's terrible. You know who else shot right around that number at like a 32.7? Kobe Bryant. You know who else shot?
The nickname, the young Kobe, comes back out.
You know who else shot around that number? Right around, it's like a 32.6 or something if you go check the numbers. Michael Jordan. Like 2 of the greatest ever. Now, Michael Jordan is very interesting because I was getting in this debate with a fan the other day that someone was trying to tell him that Steph Curry is better than Michael Jordan was. You know that the year that Michael Jordan averaged 37 points per game, he only made, I think the number was 12 3-pointers all year. All year. He only made 12 3-pointers all year and only took like 35. Like it was not, I mean, Steph has made that in a single game. Steph in his best year averaged like 5.7 makes per game, which is 2 games, and you've hit all that MJ did in a single year where he scored almost 40 per game. That's called being efficient with the ball. Let me tell you what, that's incredible. I still think MJ is the greatest of all time. And I think LeBron deserves to be in that conversation. I don't go Team LeBron, but he absolutely deserves to be in the combo. He's one of the very few players I've ever seen take a game over and not look back. Him, Steph, Dame, Giannis, Jokic. That's about it. I mean, we've all seen other ones, but I'm talking about the ones I've seen in person. It's wild when you watch a guy go into a next level where not even the best in the world can stop him. That's special. All right, this is the 5th quarter. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to hit you with the Coach's Corner, hear what Coach Tiago Splitter had to say, hand out a game ball. But before we go to break, it is time for our shot of the night.
Holiday, straight up, has it in front of Fears. Backs up to the midcourt circle. 1:05 to play, 7 to shoot. Looks for Denny. 3-pointer on the way from Denny. Buries it! Denny's got 32 on his first made 3 since the first quarter. He hits that one to extend the Blazers' lead to 9, and that should ice it.
Welcome back into the fifth quarter. Chris Burkhardt here with you, having a little bit of fun. I was freaking out because I started talking, so I turned my mic on and I couldn't hear the ad. It's because I didn't have my headphones plugged in. Sometimes you're just a goof, and that's me. All right, if you want to join the conversation with us, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. And of course, you can go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there as well. But it is time, my friends, to hear from Tiago Splitter. Let's head to the Coach's Corner.
So even if they score, we just take it out quick and go. Doesn't matter what happened on defense. But of course, there's moments where I see them a little low energy or tired or their heads down, so that's the time to call timeout.
When Shaden performs the way he has the last two games, is there a way to describe what that gives you guys and how it changes what you're capable of?
I think Shaden is one of the keys for us to be a successful team. He's such he can create shots, he can get to the rim, he can pull up, he can score from mid-range, rim, three. So, tonight he was unbelievable, and he wasn't feeling 100% either.
I know you weren't with him last year. It was your first year here, but does it seem like his shot selection has kind of changed at all from moving to where it was a couple of years ago, from what you were able to see before you got here?
I don't know. I can't answer you that. But, I remember maybe 2 years ago when I coached against him, just his ability to get to the rim and create a shot, exactly what I'm seeing now. But his summer was very good. The way he worked every day, he brought it, very professional and just trying to get better every day.
When you say he wasn't 100%, is he battling cold or still his calf?
I mean, I don't know what is it, but I felt like he wasn't 100%. So that's why I had to take him out, in and out, just to give him, some rest there.
What was your perspective on the mini altercation there, and how do you felt like your team responded to that?
I didn't see the film yet. I mean, it's part of the game. Sometimes it happens. I mean, we didn't do anything wrong, to be honest, I think. I mean, they told that Jeremy grabbed some of their player in the neck, and that's an ejection. But, okay, but I think we are a team that we're not going to back up from anything. I'm not mad at that. I just thought that Jeremy could be a little bit smarter.
Could use his legs in the second half.
He owed us a dinner for that.
What was the impact of, obviously you guys didn't win the game, what was the impact of losing him for the rest of the game?
Well, then everybody else got to play more minutes, right? Like Drew, too many, Danny, you got to bring guys, CD, Chris, they all got to play a little bit more. So it's just a different game for us. And then Jeremy can create so much on offense, and we missed that a little bit. But luckily, Shaden and Danny were very good, and Drew is sometimes too with some important shots.
You mentioned Chris Marino. Sure. We know that he comes through, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but tonight there's a little extra tenacity from Chris Marino. Almost smiled after his dunk, but what do you think of his contributions?
Well, I think he always bring it defensively. Of course, on offense, he doesn't have the ball as much. We have him more as a cutter or offense rebounder, but he always bring it defensively. And it doesn't matter if he's having an off day offensively or not. He just bring it, and I love the energy. He long arms. He's guarding ball handlers. He's guarding bigs. He's boxing out. He brings those things that people don't watch much, and do that dirty work.
And there you hear from Coach Tiago Splitter after the game, and you could tell maybe in his voice a little excited the team won. I mean, you can't tell much with him whether he's upset or mad, but sounded a little better than he did in Orlando.
Agreed.
Now, yes, see, when you have good takes, people agree. Thank you, Brenden. But it is time, my friends, before we hit the road, to hand out a game ball. Oh my goodness. Who gets the game ball tonight? It's a no look behind the back pass to a cutting Shaden Sharp for the dunk because he had an absolute monster of a game that a lot of fans have been kind of hoping to see from him and consistently too. And to do it two games in a row, I think you'll take that all day long.
Here's up top, 2:08 to play. Backs it up in front of Denny. Back and forth, thought about the three. Now his pass is deflected and stolen. Sharp on the open court with the drive and the smash. A big turnover. Blazers lead it by 8:35 for Shaden Sharp.
Beautiful, beautiful performance from the Blazers shooting guard. And again, hopefully the consistency can start to come with that and you start to see more of these games regularly. Yeah, I'm not saying he has to go out and score 30 plus every single night, but if you start getting more of these games here and the 25, 24-point games start to become a regularity, that is absolutely a good thing. So I would hope that this is maybe just the sign of things to come with him because the Blazers need it. They need someone that they can rely on to score. Of course, when he and Denny both go in there and go a combined, 25 for 36, it's going to be a pretty good game for that Trailblazers offense. In fact, the Trailblazers offense shot 57.8% from the floor tonight, 35% from deep, which is pretty good for them. So you'll take that. And again, the free throws, they were money as well. But I do think, my friends, I'm getting tired. It's been a long day. How's that go? Hey there, big guy. Sun's getting real low. Oh man.
Absolute classic. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Was it Justin who didn't know? Was Justin not into those Marvels?
Yeah, he was not a big Marvel guy, so I had to keep those kind of between you, me, and Chad.
That's absolutely funny. I'm way behind on some of my Marvel movies. First off, it was funny because I said when COVID first started, I'd only watched like Iron Man. And so it's like March 15th, everyone's in quarantine. We're all thinking it's going to blow over in like a week or two. And so I'd looked at my wife and I'm like, you know what? Since we're stuck in the house for 2 weeks, let's binge the Marvel movies.
Disney
And
Plus.
we did every single night. We watched all of them. We caught up. Little did we know that we had like another 2 years before we were like actually, back out in reality. But it was kind of funny. And so I was late to the party too because I didn't want to watch it without my wife. And again, my schedule goes crazy. But it's like just a few months ago, it had to be like Augusty that I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, which some people like didn't like, but I'll tell you this, growing up as an absolute Wolverine stan, like I don't care with those superhero movies. The story can have plot holes all day long. If you just give me some fan service, I'm happy.
I
And
mean,
it gave me fan nostalgia pops.
I mean, it may be hard for you to believe, Chris, but when your boy was, the ripe age of about 5 or 6, there was probably not a bigger NSYNC fan on the planet. So when you had that bye-bye scene, I'm just like, oh, shower me in nostalgia, man.
Gosh.
I was all over it.
How happy are you to be in sync? Like, license your song out for that movie.
Oh.
It gets a massive pop, and then all of a sudden people are like tuning back into you. Like, some of these artists need to be a little less stingy with their music, and more artists need to license their stuff out. You want to know, like, as dumb as it sounds, but like, for instance, wrestling, right? Like CM Punk, WWE uses Living Color, Cult of Personality for his intro song. That song came out in the 80s. Like, and it just drives people to listen to it. You know how many bands I found because I'm watching a wrestling show and I hear the entrance song? I'm like, oh, I like that. It's an actual band. Let me listen to them. And more artists need to license their music out because the reach that it has, oh boy. It's smart.
Yeah, it feels like, every now and again, there's always like that, I remember it was like a year ago, like Jelly Roll did the hype song for college football. And I was like, I think it was ESPN teased it and then it finally came out. You're like, oh, wow, that gets me hyped. So, yeah, I'm with you, Chris. It definitely can get you going.
Does Oregon State have a stadium song? Like, I mean, like if you're a Duck fan, they used to do Joker and the Thief was their entrance song for the longest time. They also did Boom by Saliva was a good one that they had for years.
I mean, you kind of got your like I'd say the classic. They've tried to shake things up a little bit. I think they tried a little bit of everything this year, Chris. But typically, the sing along song is "Party in the USA," Miley Cyrus. Sometimes you've got a TNT in there. AC/DC kind of always seems to be
Classic stadium
real
song.
popular with Oregon State. But I'll be honest, Chris. Like I've been to a lot of Beaver games over my time. It's kind of been the same couple songs for. So I appreciate like the occasional Mr. Brightside or, I'm trying to think what else it is this year. But usually when that fourth quarter sing-along's going, your boy's start his pre-writing, being like, how did this happen again?
Deja vu all over
Pretty
again
much,
here at
so.
Reser Stadium. Like, okay.
That's why it's really nice to work these Blazer games with you, Burkhardt. We got a winning record Blazer team, man. I am here for it, brother.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty fun. But see, now you're gonna go to these arenas and you're gonna listen for what kind of songs are they playing? I always laugh when I'm listening to an away game. Like, oh, so that's the songs they use at the Blazer game too. Like none of these arena guys are original. They're just playing the same arena hits everywhere you go. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, Brenden, I do think it is time to go, my friend. But let's remind you that the Blazers will be back in action on Friday against the Houston Rockets. 5 p.m. tip means I will have Blazers game day for you starting at 3 o'clock. It is a important game for your Trailblazers, and it is a Group C Cup game as the Blazers look to get another win in the column as they try to win the in-season tournament, which, you know what? Do that. ESPN did pick you. Maybe they know what they're talking about. I don't know. All I know is the Cup game is actually starting to be intriguing. Never thought I would have said that. And then after Friday, the Blazers wrap up their 5-game trip on Sunday against the Dallas Mavericks. Once again, the Blazers go to New Orleans and they pick up the victory 125-17. Also, Keith Feltner-Smith, I apologize. He says, how are you going to talk about Wolverine and not mention the birthday gift? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Just kidding. He did get me a beautiful birthday gift, Brenden. Nice little, metal. Almost looks like it's a picture, but it almost looks like a comic book cover. But he got me one of Wolverine and one of Batman, knowing that I am, my 3 favorite superheroes. Batman, Spider-Man, Wolverine. And it's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 1, 1. Like those guys, they are the GOATs. I'm sorry to you purists out there like, oh my God, he's mixing DC and Marvel. Oh no. I'm sorry. Batman is GOATed. Shout out to my brother. You were talking about brotherly, sisterly bonds. My brother who lives in Japan. Yeah, I love him. I love him to death. He likes to get under my skin. Hey, Batman's not a superhero, right? He has no superpowers. By definition, he's not a superhero. Shut up.
Is there anybody who can push your buttons more than your siblings? And I say this with absolute love, but man, I feel like my brother's got just a playbook on how to poke Brendan's buttons.
Me and my brother got in a fight one time, Brenden, when we were kids. And had him I was mad, like one of those about to punch your brother. My mom walks in, she freaks out. I get in trouble, of course. I deserved it. But she's like, I can't believe you were going to punch your brother. Why would you even think about punching your brother? I go, the only reason I was even going to punch him is because he's my brother. And to be fair, it was a thing that if you only understand if you have a sibling. Because me and my brother could have got in a fight and then bro hugged it out 5 minutes later and been absolutely fine with each other.
Very true.
And that's what I meant by that's the only reason I was going to fight with him. He's my brother. Because you know what? It doesn't matter. We could be as mad as each other as we want. We're bros at the end of the day. I love my brother to death. I just need to start saving some money because I really, really, really want to go to Japan and see him. And I've always wanted to go to Japan. This is my reason. I want to go to Japan. Maybe watch some Japanese baseball. Shout out Hiroshima Carp. That's right. I know some of those teams. Awesome.
I'd eat my way through Japan. I've always, I did that. Sightsee and eat my way through Japan, 100%.
Yes. Maybe we'll do a Blazers game day from there. I'll talk to Chad. All right, once again, Blazers grab the victory, 125-117. Game day on Friday, 3 o'clock as the Blazers take on the Rockets. Rip City, thank you for listening to all my random stories and having fun. Keith, thanks for the birthday gifts. Thanks for just being you. You're the man. I'll talk to you all later. Until next time, have a good one, Rip City.